So, hi for everyone, my name is Ákos Rendi. I came from the Robert Bosch company. I am the group leader of the video system test group. What is our topic for today? Tester's life in the automotive industry. This seems to be not the technical stuff, isn't it? But there are countless presentations, studies, discussions about the testing environments, testing hardware, testing softwares, testing stuffs, testing methods, and we are prone to forget it, that the key factor for the success is the people, is the tester themselves. Realize that in my company how important to take care with this people management, with this human resources. In the next slides, I want to show you why and how. My original plan was to collect every challenges and every expectation affected the testing point of view on the automotive field. But in the end, it was a long, long list. Then I decided in the end, I will show you only one department in my company, and I collected what kind of request, what kind of expectation there are shown up to the testers. There is a CC, the Chassis System Control department. This department have 5 different platforms, directions, activity groups. The active safety, the passive safety, and the radar and video-based softwares and activities, and the Power Pilot. I will one by one to show you what kind of differences there are on those fields. The first one is the active safety. The active safety is for preventing the crash, ABS, ASP. But for today, I show you a little bit different things. This is a driver drowsiness detection. Based on this analysis, 20% of the crashes, of all crashes, the root cause is the driver drowsy. Then the task is pretty easy. We have to be able to detect that the driver is drowsy, and we have to warn them, please stop the driving. But accordingly, that the fact that this function should be applicable for any different cars, our main goal was to choose an ECU independent solution. That means we don't have any central unit, any hardware for that, and this function should be applicable for every car, for every ECU. What does it mean for the testing point of view? We have to have an automated test environment generation, definitely, and we have our test export to the quality center, and the test result export to the quality center automatically. And the test execution could be done in a hardware-in-the-loop execution. According to this fact, what are the active safety tester competencies? They have to know the automotive and safety standards, have to possess some development skills, and because he should be applicable for any different car without any own ECU, should be a very good team player, organizing skills, and very objective. The second part, the second platform, is the passive safety. The passive safety is about the airbag systems. After the crash, we try to minimize the consequences of a crash. An airbag ECU could have 2 main problems. It deploys if it's not needed, and not deploys if it's needed. To test that, we know 2 different ways. The first way is to analyze the airbag system after an accident. We read out the fault recorder, the crash recorder. We try to figure out what has happened, and what has happened, it is plausible or transparent. And after it, we have to do some documentation about it. But it's not easy documentation. It is actually a statement, what has happened. And this statement could be used during a court trial as an evidence. The second way is for the passive safety engineer is the classical system test, sensor sensitivity test, voltage temperature test, classic system test. Let's see, in comparison with the active safety tester, what is the differences regarding the competencies. The passive safety tester should be known the circuit skills, a little bit electrical, measurement technique, oscilloscope. And the other way, like regarding the soft skills, this precise and customer-oriented documentation is very huge, has very huge importance. Because, for example, the Scotland Yard has an own expectation regarding the statements and documentation, and we have to fulfill this expectation. And that is a responsibility of the tester. The third place is the part pilot. For the part pilot, we have a real ECU, a real hardware, and everything is simulated around the hardware, the sensors and the environment. You know, the part pilot, we are searching for park spaces, and we try to support the in parking and the out parking for the drivers, sorry. And the other cases of the part pilot engineers is the test coordination. We don't do the test execution and test implementation. It's a huge task, the test coordination, coordinating every region, the test activities. Let's see what is the part pilot tester competencies. What are the part pilot tester competencies? For the environment and for the testing, yeah, measurement technique, automotive basis, yeah, embedded background, okay? And for the test coordination skills, should has to possess self-management, practical orientation, and so on. The fourth one is the radar. What we do with the radar? With the radar, we recognize and analyze the objects on the field, on the streets. We watch how they're moving, which direction, what is the acceleration, what is the braking. How we test that? We do a real test drive and a test track drive. And we build up the environment regarding the new software release. And with software in the loop procedure, we resimulate our measurements with the new software. And we get a new result. And our job is to compare this new result with the real world data, with the ground truth. And regarding this fact, these measurements and these video sequences could be cost more than 10 hours, then you have to do that automatically and automated, because if you begin this comparison bit by bit manually, after a time you will kill yourself. What does it mean regarding the competencies? You see, a radar tester is a little programmer. He has to know the programming skills, he has to create own scripts, on programs, on evaluation, on tools. And the other thing regarding the soft skills, we heard yesterday from Lee, our models are wrong. Yes, he's right. And you have to be very creative. You have to use very, very good unique solutions to recreate the real world as a simulation. The next one, actually the last one, the video test. For the video test, we are using a camera. This is a real camera. The camera has different functions for the lane keeping system, road sign recognition, light and sight functions, and for the object detection based on the camera informations. With this object detection, we are supporting, for example, the automatically emergency braking function. To ensure the software quality, we choose this hybrid solution for the testing. The lab test does the verification, and the application does the validation. In the lab, we have real hardware, real camera, and we simulate around this camera the environment, actually the car. And in the validation, we have the real camera goes to the real car, and the real car goes in the real world. You see how different these competencies, while the lab tester has the classical testing knowledge, ICQB, test automation, test development, and environment. The applicator is a little hacker with driving skills, with technical skills, measurement systems. You have to change the whole car to use the test environment. The last examples, you see how variable this competence is, and please remember, I'm talking about still only one department. The main goal is to find employee to test that would fulfill this environment. And these colleagues, these employees are available in the market or not. What is the employment market trends nowadays? In 5 years, we had only few engineers in the field. Nowadays, we have only few qualified engineers on the field, on the market. That means there is few, then it's very hard to find them and apply them. And this is a more difficult thing, very hard to keep them. Because of this engineer doesn't see any vision, any defined career path before him, then could be gone. That follows the huge rotation factor, fluctuation, and so on. I have to mention here the salary, but it is really a side effect. Based on this analysis, only 30% of the Hungarian companies has a conscious salary politics and bonus systems. But the goal is unchanged. We have to find our candidates. The question is how? Acquisition. What is the first step? The first step is not a rocket science. You have to know what you want from a candidate. You see the different competencies, the different expectations. You have to build some tester groups, competency groups actually, and you have to have a very well-defined open position description, a role description. This is the basis. You have to know what you want. After it, you need some help from the headhunter companies, from your beautiful HR girls. You have to visit job fairs, and you have to open your doors for the candidates. Let's see, that's why I'm doing, actually. Do you have time to do the same? And if you have some candidates, then you have to have a very good and very wise selection strategy. You don't have time to wait for the candidate and analyze the candidate for weeks, for months, actually. And the candidate doesn't have the time either. You have to have a very good selection strategy. For example, a 2-round interview strategy with guided questions. The first round, it's not a concrete position. It's only about the candidate. What is the candidate expectations? What is the candidate experience, knowledges? What is the imagination regarding his or her future? And based on this information, we fit this candidate to our different open position. And the second round could be possible about really a concrete position. Okay, who are the ideal candidates? That is the question here. Bad news, there isn't, actually. We don't have any mega super tester that covers everything. The maximum what we can reach to try a good candidate to a fitting position. And it is only a chance. Okay, we have the candidate, and at the end we have an employee. We are done. No, not yet. The real work begins from this point of view. We have to build up the competencies of our employee. This could be done internally, position-specific introduction plan, mentoring system, learning by doing methodology, step-by-step do increase the responsibility. Or it is pretty good if you have pretty good and well-defined documentation and for the tools and materials. It could be done from external trainings, with soft skill and hard skill trainings, universities, time management training, communication training, C++, and so on, whatever. What is the competence needed? Yesterday, we see how many new ways has the ISTQB, for example, to train and build up the competent. We have to visit conferences, or we have to send our people to the headquarters to see what is happening there. The main message here, every competence build-up should be done conscious. We have to know what we want from the candidate. We have to know what we want the candidate, what want the employee itself. And with this discussion, we can build up the competencies together. Yeah, it costs time, it costs energy, but if it goes parallelly, what the candidate, what the employee wants and what we want, the employee will be motivated. And if the employee will be motivated, then the quality will increase, and the quality will increase. We are very, very happy. Okay, in the last time, we had candidates, we had employees, we have now competent employees. Are we done? Finally? No, I don't think so. There are these motivations. What is the motivation for the candidate? How important that is? It's very, very important. The motivation is always high in the beginning, and it will be decreased slowly or very, very quickly, especially if you want from the candidate, then please do the same for weeks, for months, for years. And you have to be able to change that a little bit. You have to be able to give some extra responsibilities for the candidate, extra new tasks, or changing the roles. For example, you see, you remember how many different ways there are in only one department for the changing. The active safety testing is boring. Okay, let's see the radar testing. There are some gaps, okay? But if you have a conscious competence building, that could be solved, this problem. So could we keep high the motivations? The second thing is the career path. I mentioned that. Your employees will be, after a time, step a little bit forward. And you have to ensure that should be possible for the line management, project management, and so on, the expert direction. Line management is coordination, task coordination, team coordination, group leading, department leading, whatever. The projects could be the hardware project management, software project management, something like that. And there are some people that say, okay, I'm not here to talking with people, I want to work really. You have to ensure the possibility to grab deeply in those products, processes, knowledges, or software and hardware, and became really an expert and senior tester and technical tester on those fields. The last one is the salary. It is not the amount is important, although we are Hungarian. I think what we have to have, it is a conscious salary politics. We have to figure out what kind of activities, what kind of salary levels are assigned. And if we see what we reach, what we want to reach, we see directly what kind of activity belongs to. And if it's transparent and clear for everyone, that is a good direction. Yeah. The main question is, what was my main goal with the presentation? What is the main message? What I want to say, what is the summary? You see, it costs a lot of energy and a lot of time to take care with the people management. But you have to do that. You have to push this energy to the project management, to the people management, to the HR, because this is the only way to step forward. I came from Bosch, you know. Believe me, we like the innovations. We have the newest testing tools and newest methods. We are using the newest methods and new hardwares and softwares. Actually, we create some things, but if you don't have a motivated, engaged, and competent people behind of these tools, you have actually nothing. If you are an employee, then there should be this expectation for the management, and if you are a manager, please try to ensure those things for your employees. Thank you for your attention. I'm open for questions.
Thank you very much. Questions, please. Yes?
Hi, good morning. This is I'm Arnil Pakula from Nokia. And my question is that a few months ago, there was this big scandal about the software that if it is being tested, so it's a software for a diesel engine that when being tested, it tries to do something. So my question is that how could this thing happen that there is this software and now we have this tester or engineers who test this software? Do these testers know that such kind of software does this kind of malicious activity? And what is your point of view or opinion, since you are automotive in the automotive industry? That's all.
Thanks for your question. I counted this question. Yeah. I have to tell you honestly. My opinion is the same what my company's opinion in the topic. You can't find this statement in every internet sites. And it's actually the same. We are fulfilled the customer expectations. And we are engaged with the innovation. It was a decision of the customer. But every other statement can find in the Bosch website, for example. Sorry, I can't tell more about that.
Are there any other questions? Then I have one more. Do you use any quality model, like Automotive Spice, for instance? And if yes, do you find the testing descriptions useful?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad. Thank you very much.